Oguri Jikichi was a Japanese sailor who survived on the Pacific Ocean for approximately 500 days. He was one of 3 survivors of his original crew of around 20 men, though accounts of the actual original number of crew members are unclear due to language difficulties. Now, imagine you are Jikichi in this situation. You and your crew are sailing off the coast of Japan, bound for Edo, when a storm disables your ship, knocks you off course, and sets you adrift in the largest body of water for the next 1.9 billion miles, until you reach Uranus. Additionally, all of this is happening not in the 2000s or the 1940s or even the 1880s, but in 1813. So basically, there's no chance you're being found unless somebody physically sees you. And my friend, you aren't one teensy-weensy needle in the world's biggest, bluest haystack. Just you, your broken boat, 20 or so smelly dudes, and the largest, deepest, most dangerous expanse of darkness this side of the atmosphere. Whatever feeling you got from that, just know Jikichi felt that times 1,000,000. Easily. That type of primal fear, however, is not required to be acquired by such traumatic means. In fact, many people gain the same feeling of deep fear, anxiety, and dread by simply being near or even thinking about the ocean. Gee whiz, I sure am glad I live in Iowa, you know. Sure would be a shame if I started thinking about the ocean or... This fear is known as thalassophobia, a phobia characterized by an individual's intense and persistent fear of deep bodies of water. Thalassophobia can be acquired in quotes because it's a fear, it's not, you get what I'm saying? One example is via traumatic experiences such as with victims like Oguri Jikichi, though it may even be contracted via lack of contact with the stimulus. Interestingly enough, however, researchers have proposed the possibility that thalassophobia could be a product of human evolutionary response, and that the fear could be locked in our own genetic code as a defense mechanism, which is, it's kind of in relation to the fear of the unknown, which has kept humans alive for thousands upon thousands of years. Imagine like, you go into a dark cave and it's like, oh, that's a dark cave, man. You don't want to go in a dark cave because, there's probably I don't know, a bear in there? I don't know. I don't go in dark caves, man. That's why I'm still alive. That's the point. Thalassophobia is a very complex topic to research and learn about, as signs and symptoms are not consistent person to person. One person may get scared by jumping in the deep end of the pool, and another may be an Olympic swimmer who just can't swim in dark water because they can't see what's under them. Additionally, thalassophobia isn't even solely based on a fear of the depth of water. It could center around creatures within the water, the darkness of it, the expanse of something like the ocean, waves, or simply the distance from land. Luckily or not, thalassophobia is acquirable by anyone. It's not lucky. It's not a great thing. Meaning that diagnosing some with it is relatively simple. After all, the only requirement is the fear you feel in relation to the stimulant. This also means that thalassophobia is very easily treatable. Psychologists have used tactics such as cognitive behavioral therapy, systematic desensitization, exposure therapy, and for severe cases, antidepressants in order to diminish or completely get rid of the adverse effects thalassophobia has on its victims. That is not to say, however, that thalassophobia is an easy fear to deal with in general. Individuals who experience thalassophobia may not ever gain the courage to set near a large body of water again. These people may refuse to travel over bodies of water in any transportational medium, meaning they won't traverse large bridges, go on docks, or even fly in order to get from point A to point B. If you wanted to go to France, you're SOL, buddy. You're not going over the ocean, man. In popular media, this exact set of symptoms is experienced and represented by Jim Carrey's character Truman Burbank in The Truman Show. In the movie, a young Truman witnesses his father drown at sea while on a fishing excursion, leaving Truman to fend for himself. This gives Truman a persistent and intense fear of the ocean surrounding his small hometown, which forces him to stay landlocked to the island. One particular scene witnesses Truman attempt to traverse a boat dock, though the intense anxiety he feels leads to him having a panic attack and abandoning the situation. This representation of thalassophobia is conveyed relatively realistically and really helps to paint a proper picture of how victims feel when confronted with the stimulus. Now imagine for a moment you are Oguri Jikichi again. Imagine yourself back on that boat, floating across the Pacific, with no idea where you'll end up. It isn't the water that scares you. You see that every day. Heck, you drink water for breakfast. No. The water isn't the scary part. It's what the water conceals that's scary. It's the constricted movement the world's most life-giving yet dangerous liquid provides. It's knowing that no matter how hard you scream or how far you swim, the ocean will scream louder and it will only seem bigger. It's the fact that there are beings in the inky black that have lived longer than the trees you used to build your boat. It's the fact that the creatures you share the waters with could bite you in half or swallow you whole or simply wait until you die to tear you apart. No body for your family to bury. No ashes to spread. Just you and the belly of the beast. Finally, it's knowing that each and every day that passes, each and every minute that goes by, you feel yourself slipping into insanity a little more. The dehydration, hunger, fear, and pure primal instinct to survive is slowly chipping away at your sanity until there is nothing left but a hollow shell of the person that once resided in your body, but that person is now still lost at sea. The fear is knowing that whoever you were before the ocean swallowed you, before the sun cooked you alive, before the thirst drove you mad to the point of drinking your own blood and urine, whoever that person was is gone, and now it's just you stripped down to your barest parts. So go ahead, swim out a little farther next time. See if I care when you get sucked out by the riptide. I'm totally content sitting on the beach, sipping a pina colada, watching the sun set over God's personal toy box of death. I think I'll stick to the shallow end. But if you want to sit smack dab in the middle of the most dark, mysterious, and dangerous place since outer space, be my guest. Fear exists for a reason. Sometimes it's best to let it take the wheel.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.